Okay, so let's get inspired for the love of crochet. I have a few finished objects for you, very springy objects, and some scrappy projects for you. So here we go. I know that I kind of showed it in my last video, but there was only a picture of it. But with some scrap yarn that I had, I started making these crochet eggs. Aren't they darling? And it's definitely getting me to do some embroidery, which I'm horrible at. I'm horrible at putting faces on amigurumi, and well, this is giving me some practice. And it doesn't take much yarn to do this, and this is a tutorial by Zines and Roger. So cute, and it's free. And again, with anything I mention, I will list it below if I find it, which I most always do, unless it's something I just absolutely cannot find. But more than likely, all the links will be provided down below. Okay, so Zines and Roger, I did this one. And then this is that baby yarn. And it's so pretty, and it has this very light transition that it's kind of like a watercolor. It came out really nice with this. This was the leftover yarn from a baby bear blanket I made. And this is my absolute favorite yarn. It's that eco-friendly, eco yarn that I got a long time ago at Michael's. I absolutely love holding this yarn, working with this yarn, and it's the best feeling yarn I have ever. This is my favorite, absolute favorite. I have it in my book. I don't think I've ever seen it again. It's recycled. It's from recycled plastic, which is crazy. It's just so soft. I love this one. And I also, this is a kind of like a Valentine. I don't know what the color was, but it was Red Heart. This is made out of that Simply Soft yarn, Red Heart Simply Soft. And I haven't seen this one, but I tried to use this one because it had those speckles in it. No embroidery on that one, but this was leftover yarn because I didn't follow through with that boho baby blanket with the baubles, and it had these colors, and so I had taken it apart, and this is what I created out of it. I think this is my favorite, even though I still suck at trying to put on embroidery and petals. It's still very pretty and looks so nice on my shelf. So I have all these eggs. Definitely can use scrap yarn. So this is one scrap project, my little Easter eggs. And then with that boho baby blanket that was a total bust, I did this. I didn't undo all of it, so I just folded it in half and did the best I could at seaming it and made a pillow. So it's double-sided. So yeah, that's what I did with that baby blanket. I didn't know what I was gonna do, and it is nice. But I don't think that I'm gonna be making a lot of pillows unless I have pillow forms, because to use the stuffing, it takes quite a bit. And then from what I understand, if you're using them, they tend to get smushed and squashed down. And then, you know, this isn't a removable one. I just seamed it all the way around. And I didn't fill it up quite all the way because this was just going to be for decoration anyway. So this is what I did. What do you think? Is it a nice save for my baby blanket bust, boho bust? So yeah, I have this. My dog's in the background, just hiding behind my Easter basket. Okay, and then, okay, so I saw on another YouTube crochet channel that they were making these Loveys. And so I decided to give it a try. Again, I was using this Karen Simply Soft. I think it came out really cute. I didn't take the tag off him. So he has a body underneath. And then I'm sure he got this at the Dollar Tree, so it's $1.25. And then I got the hair ties at the Dollar Tree. And then what you do is you crochet around it, and I got this off of a tutorial on YouTube. And so yeah, you just make this granny square. You can probably put any little doll in here, as long as you can fit it through the, and I just thought that was cute. I'm basically trying to use up a lot of scrap yarn because I want to make projects, but it requires a certain type of yarn, and I really want to use that type of yarn. But how can I justify buying more yarn when I have so much? So I'm using a lot of stuff, and I'm probably going to go to a farmer's market and see if I can sell some of these before Easter. So that is one. The other one, this is so cool. Froggy. Now, this used up the whole roll, and I really fell in love with this yarn, and it was this one. It's called Stitch Bird, and it has this black thread throughout the whole thing, but the colors are vibrant and it's so neat. I really fell in love with it. Didn't go very far because, as you can see, the granny square is not that big, but this was very cool, and this was a clearance one. Got it for $2.47, don't know where. Lions, it's a Lion brand, Stitch Bird. I really liked it. So that was one. So yeah, he's cute. I didn't take off his tag, but he has his body underneath. Same thing. You just $1.25 at the Dollar Tree, and then use a little bit of scrap yarn and put yourself together a Lovey. Super cute. Okay, and then I guess these are a lot of scrap projects. So here is another one. Now, I took this pattern off of, I will link below because I can't think of the name of it, and I used her pattern to make the little squares, but then I just went rogue. I didn't have the little hair ties to do the thing, plus I didn't know how to do the hair tie with a granny square because I made all the granny squares, and this is really cute. I really like this one. Okay, so this is what I did with this. Was made out of the sweet roll, and I'm so glad because this was the only sweet roll I had, so I was able to use it up, and I don't know what color this is. Cheesecake. The color is cheesecake. That's what I'd call it too. Okay, so I made all these granny squares, and what I did was I started making all the centers, and then I started making the flower, and so I would go and use up the color. I used up the whole roll for this, so I didn't have anything for an edging. Otherwise, I would have put an edging on it. But I didn't know how I was going to do this. So what I did is I just didn't seam this area. And I thought, well, this might be safer because if kids play with that, I don't know how young, and they put this on a dog, a small animal, it's gonna cut off some circulation, or if they try to put it around their neck. I just thought it's kind of unsafe. I don't know. So I actually feel better about this one because there is no rubber band, okay? If they can't fit their head through it, they can't fit their head through it. And it's not gonna stretch. So I kind of like this. And this one's cute. It's a little puppy. I took off his tag though. So I thought these would be sweet little Easter gifts. But like I said, I don't know how I feel about the rubber bands around the Loveys. I think they could be dangerous. But that's just my head, I guess. So yeah, this is super cute. I think I have one more. So I got the froggies, the bunny. I do have one more. Okay, so here is my last one. I tried to finish, oh, I didn't tie in my end, pretend you don't see them. I tried to, so this one's a little lamb, and this was the only yarn I could find that would fit with the coloring of the lamb, and I used it all. I used the whole thing. I didn't think I could go another round, and so the leftover was what made this little egg. And yeah, I feel like it's needing a little more. What color do you think I should? Probably this color to edge it. So we'll see. This one needs probably a little more work, but it's super cute. Oh. So yeah. So these are a lot of scrap projects. The Easter eggs, the little Loveys, and I have another one. So what do you think of those? Okay, and then, wait, and there's more. I do love this one. This is a Caron Simply Soft too, and it had this, I take that back. It's the Hobby Lobby version of a Caron Simply Soft. It has that same feel, and it has this variegated yarn. And I did try to put in a brown one, but I feel like it just blends in. You can't even see it. You can barely see it on camera, but in person you can't see it. And so yeah, I have a monkey too. Ah, so here we go. We can't see him. There's gotta be more. I'm dropping one. So yeah, that's what I have for you. And then I do have another finished object, and it is this baby. Are you ready? So I had previously shown these. It's kind of hard to get it all on camera, but let's do these two. So I previously showed these little bunnies, and I just thought this is such a cool tutorial for a little bunny. And I thought, yeah, I really wanted to make a garland out of it. I tried using some pom-poms to make the bunny tail, but they were just too small, the ones that I bought. So I ended up making them, and it has this shimmer to it. I don't know if you can see it, but I made it out of this yarn bee. If you were to make a snowman or to make snow, this, yeah, you can't see it. It's got such nice little glitter to it. It's so pretty. This is what I thought would make a good yarn for amigurumis. Turns out it's really stretchy, or pretty stretchy, and it might be hard for beginners because it's hard to see your stitches, but I love it. It's called Lush Loft. I may try again using it as an amigurumi. I'm not sure, but I really like this yarn. And so yeah, this is what I made. I'm having a problem with it turning on me though. So do you guys have a solution of how to keep it? See how these just want to turn and flip? And so all the bunny tails aren't facing, and I'm having a hard time with that. What do you suggest to keep them straight? I know, I may put it around a, like a lighting, a cord, and crochet around the cord. Maybe I'll try and do something like that, but I really do like this bunny. I think this is something I'll keep and not try to sell because of that twisting that's happening. So yes, I like it. What do you think? How can I improve it? Okay, and then the last thing I have for you is an ongoing scrap project, and it is something I previously showed you from a previous YouTuber, or one that I shared with you, and it is this. It's growing. But yeah, I'm just taking all the leftover yarns that I have and making these little flowers. Some yarns were smaller than others, but it is turning out so neat. I like it. It's gonna cover the back of this chair, I think. Yeah, I like it. So I have a ton of scrap projects today, so hopefully I'll be able to eat up this yarn for 2022. That is one of my goals, because I want to buy yarn to make new lovely projects. So what do you think? I really enjoyed making the Loveys. I really enjoyed making this scrap project, and I really enjoyed making the eggs. I do have some upcoming things that I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so Katydids. She is a pretty popular TikTok amigurumi pattern designer. I think she's popular also for some knitting machine beanies, the TikTok beanie. And I bought my first pattern from her. Let me grab my pattern. I bought my pattern. Turns out I read the instructions wrong, which seems to be my problem these days. I'm having a lot of issues reading my patterns. Okay, so I bought my first Katydids pattern, and I was going for, with this one pattern, you can make 3 different amigurumis. And I was going for this one. And that's sweet. A chubby bunny. She's got some rainbow floppy ears, and look at those big bows. So I believe she's a fan of the Parfait, no, it's a Parfait, Premier Parfait Chunky. Yes. She's a fan of the Premier Parfait Chunky. And with this pattern, you can also make a unicorn and a baby doll. Look at that. Look at those buns. Now you could probably totally change her buns into hair, I think. But yeah, so I'm going for the bunny, and I did start making it. I read the instructions wrong. So I picked up the wrong hook, and with my hook, my little one was coming out really skinny. Look at that gut. But it was just coming out long, and she says to use a medium tension. I don't know what medium tension is. I don't know what. Anyways, I grabbed the wrong hook. I grabbed a way too small hook for this. I used a 4.25 when the suggested one was 6.5. So I think that was my problem. I've been messing up on the head because I can't see my stitches too good because of this tight stitch. So if I'm supposed to use medium tension and a 6.5 hook, look at that. I mean, it's just so tight you can't see anything. So I think I'm going to undo it, but I'm excited about that pattern, the Katydids, and it works up really fast because of the yarn being so thick and chunky. So I will be doing that, and I'm excited. You want to take another look at it? Look at that. Her name is Katydid. I'll list it below. It's a paid for pattern, but very cheap, and you get to make three different patterns with it. So it's really nice. I really like that one. And then my sister has commissioned me to do a baby Yoda or Grogu. I'm sorry, I don't know the name. And so I have made a Yoda before, but again, I'm just having a problem reading. But I've had some health issues, severe iron loss, so my brain's not working properly. There's a lot of brain fog going on. And so I started it, but I don't like it. I want it to be bigger. And this yarn is too thin. I don't want to work with it. And so I am gonna need to buy some green yarn, but this green yarn is not easy to find in a thicker version. The green is either too bluish or too bright green, and so it's really hard to get this color for Yoda. I'm gonna have to go search for it. If you know one, let me know. But I also bought this. The Mandalorian Kit, and you can make this. They give you enough yarn to make 2 items. However, I had one of these before, which is how I made the Yoda, because this one is Yoda. This one is Grogu, because he's in the pod and he's with Mandalorian, so he's different. But this yarn feels awful. And in the previous pack that I had, the yarn is nice and thin and soft. This is thicker, but the yarn just feels awful. It feels like straw. So this, I mean, it's crunchy, so crunchy hard. So I'm not liking this kit for that reason. The yarn just feels awful. It feels like hay. Maybe it'll be nice for a project, but I've never worked with yarn so yucky. So I don't know that I'll be making anything with that awful yarn, but you can make what is his name? You probably know, but he comes in his pod. But I think my sister wants a Yoda, so I am needing some yarn, and I don't want to work with the thin one. And that is a wrap. That is everything I have to show for you. I still have a lot of scrap to finish up, and this is just my little small jar of scraps. It's too small and just into a little ball. So I want to use these. I'm probably going to be making a lot more of an addition to this using this. Yeah. So what do you think? How are you doing? And what are some great scrap projects that you love to do? I shall hear from you soon and see you soon. And until then, grab your hooks and see you next time. Bye.